Hey guys, how are you? I got another interview question for you. What's the difference between the double equals operator and the equals method? Alright, so when we're working with the double equals operator, we're comparing object references. Whereas when we're working with the equals method, we're trying to compare the content of objects. Alright, so comparing references. We're going to use this double equal sign in order to compare the references, which pretty much is going to compare the location in memory. So let's just say we have this piece of code here. We have a string x, which is equal to hello, and then we have a string y, which is also equal to hello. All right, so you can see the type of these variables are both of type string, and then on the third line you see here we have a system.out.println, and we're using the x equals y. Now we're getting a return value of true that we see right here. Now the reason we're getting true is not because of the content inside each one of these variables, but it's based on the location in memory. So to make this a little bit more clear, let me show you a picture. All right, so this, what we have here is called a Java virtual machine. And inside the Java virtual machine, we have this thing that is called a constant pool. Now you may ask yourself, what is a constant pool? Well, a constant pool is basically um, a place where variables are created. So as you can see here, we have a string x, and this is set equal to hello. So there's going to be a variable here created x, which we can see up here, and it's pointing to the word hello, or the value hello. Now we have this string y, and basically what's going to happen here is that if y finds that there is already a hello value that already exists within a specific location in memory, then y is going to also point to this hello. And that here is why we're getting true. So basically what's happening in this system.out.println, when we're comparing x equals y, we're actually comparing the location in memory. So x is pointing to hello, and then we have y, which is also pointing to hello. So that's what the double equals is pretty much comparing. All right, let's keep moving along. All right, so let's say we're still working with the double equals comparison, and we actually create a new instance of an object. Now this new instance of an object is holding the value hello. And we have another instance of an object that is also holding the value of hello. We have x and y. And then on this third line, system.out.println, we're comparing again x equals y. But for some reason here we're getting false. So the reason why this is happening is because whenever you create an object, objects are not created in the constant pool, but they're created on this thing called the heap. And the heap is basically a location where objects are created. Now, a heap works differently from a constant pool. So a constant pool is only going to hold variables, whereas a heap is only going to hold objects. And basically, whenever you create an object is not concerned about whether or not a value already exists. It creates its own object and it assigns it the associated value that you store into that object, which you can see here. So once again, if we're using the system.out.println and x equals y, we're getting false. The reason we're getting false is because they are not pointing to the same location in memory. All right, let's keep going. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about right here is the equals method. And this method is pretty simple, it's really straightforward. And the equals method is basically used to compare the content of two objects, pretty much. So basically, if we have these two variables, x and y, the only thing that the equals method is checking is just the content here, the hello and hello. And it's just going to check and see whether or not these two variables have the same content inside of them. And this is just another example when you're working with a new instance of a class. It pretty much still operates the same way. You're pretty much just comparing the contents of these two values, which are both hello, so that's also why we're getting true here. Okay, now if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video if you felt like you've learned something here. Also, don't forget to subscribe, and see you in the next video.